Hello tacticians and strategists, welcome back to Strategic Minds, Spirit of Liberty, the free prologue. And yeah, we are checking out, and welcome back to Playing Hardball, of course. We are checking out here this tutorial. This is a very promising game with more modern mechanics and ideas, a narrative, connecting the missions, and quite a lot of stuff. If you want to click the pause button, here's the description. There are a couple of games already on the market from them. The Pacific, Blitzkrieg, so that's, it appears this is where we would play the Axis. Fight for Freedom, there we would play the Allied forces. In two campaigns, and the Spirit of Liberty is actually the Finnish. The Lapland War, the Finnish war where the Soviet Union assaulted Finland. So that's very interesting. Let's get into the third part of the tutorial, army management. So we've learned how to attack, move and stuff. We've learned about the supply and infrastructure. That's actually pretty interesting. Mechanics, how to disrupt supply chains and how to establish them for ourselves. That's actually a very interesting mechanic, I think. Makes the game, of course, a little bit more complex, so there is more clicking involved and more thinking. But I like that. I personally find that more interesting than, for example, the old Panzer Corps or the old Panzer General, where you only had to look out for the supply of fuel and ammunition. I mean, that made that game, of course, a quicker thing, but you know, like long term, I think this one here might be more interesting that way. So let's have a look into it.
Good day, Commander. In this operation, we will go over the unit classes, upgrades, equipment, experience, and heroes. So you will learn how to turn an ordinary army into the fine-tuned instrument molded to fit your strategy in the best way possible. Let's get started. There are several already deployed units under your command, yet they are marked not with green color and a round-shaped strength indicator, but with the yellow color and a hexagon-shaped strength indicator. These are non-core units. They are given to your army for the purpose of the current operation only.
These guys. Hexagon-shaped strength indicator.
Finish your deployment by clicking with your left mouse button first on the unit and then on the designated deploy hex. Select the artillery unit. Deploy it in the designated hex. Now deploy the tank unit in the adjacent hex. Apart from the troops, this time you have a hefty amount of prestige. Prestige is the resource that you spend to acquire new units and equipment. Open the Acquire Units tab by clicking on the Prestige button. In the left column, you can see the current list of your core units. At the bottom of the tab, you can see the list of available units.
Yeah, wow, that's quite a number.
To filter available units by class, you can click on the corresponding filter button. At the top of the Acquire Units tab, you can find the information about the selected unit, including its combat parameters and skills. Select the Recon class among the filters. Now select the highlighted model. Click on the Acquire button at the bottom.
Interrogation gathers intelligence data when enemy surrenders. 10% chance to gather intelligence data during each attack. Oh, that's interesting. By the way, sorry guys. The music is kind of loud. I can't change it right now. Low profile cannot be attacked by Overwatch. Okay, interesting. Scouting allows the unit to move again as long as it has movement points left. The unit can move through the enemy zone of control without losing all movement points. However, it still has to spend one additional movement point per each enemy unit which has that hex in ZOC, in the zone of control. Okay? So
next, select the Anti-Tank filter. Right now, the anti-tank unit we need is already selected. Click on the Acquire button to add it to your core units.
An elephant. Fort destroyer gains 5 hard attack against forts. Heavy armor ignores damage from land units with base attack less than 10. Does not work against infantry in close quarters. After being stopped by anti-tank overwatch can move an attack. Okay. High precision when attacking from a 2 hexes range gains first strike. High precision is superior to the long range gun skill. Interesting. So I guess like certain units or with heroes or whatever, they gain the skills, right? Anti-tank support provides fire support versus hard targets to allied forces within gun range once per turn. And Overwatch hard, during enemy turn, the unit attacks hard targets moving into gun range once per turn. An enemy attack disables the skill until the end of turn, okay? So which would mean that you would always want to have an artillery strike on the elephant before going in with other tanks, right? So let's acquire
All
it.
units are available in the historically accurate periods. As you progress through the campaign, new units will become available. You can upgrade your troops to newer models. If both newer and older models are from one series, then the older unit cost will be deducted from the new unit cost. If they are not from the same series, then only 50% of the older unit cost will be deducted. The upgraded unit will retain all the experience gained before an upgrade. If the unit has an upgrade available, it is marked with a yellow arrow symbol.
Yeah, that's convenient. That's basically like with the old Panzer General. Okay.
Let us see how this works in practice. Select the newly bought recon in the unit list. To upgrade it, select the Upgrade tab. Select Recon in the list of available upgrades. Now you can see the parameters of your unit. The increase or decrease in combat parameters after the upgrade is marked with green and red numbers. You can see the prestige cost of the upgrade at the bottom. Now click on the Upgrade button. Close the Acquire Units tab. Now we have to deploy the newly acquired units. Select the Recon unit. Deploy it in the designated hex. Then deploy the anti-tank gun next to the Recon. Click on the End Deploy button to begin the operation.
And if I want to buy more, no, I'm not allowed to do that.
There seem to be no enemy units yet. Click on the End Turn button. The enemy troops are close. We have to destroy them. Select the artillery. Attack the enemy infantry unit.
We have 19 soft attack, they have 6 soft defense, 4 take cover and 2 range defense mod. Okay, yeah, and our attack will cause 2 lethal damage and 5 non-lethal damage.
Good. Now select the anti-tank unit.
So now there are, I can't look at them, but it is basically they have implemented a very nice mechanic from Panzer General, that is a later game of the old Panzer General series, where actually the units, you know, you killed someone, but if someone is injured, then by resting, or I guess getting to a hospital or something, the injured people could be healed. Yeah, or maybe then it's cheaper or something, but who's dead, or for dead, you need real replacements, which are more costly, I guess. So, anti-tank unit.
Move it closer to the enemy. Attack the enemy tank. Your anti-tank gun has gained a new experience level. We will get back to it after the battle. Select the self-propelled artillery. Attack the second enemy infantry unit.
17 soft attack, By the way, can we look at it? No. Well. 2 lethal damage, 4 non-lethal damage.
Select the tank unit. Finish off the enemy infantry. Now only 1 enemy unit is still standing. Select your recon unit. Move it to the designated hex. Finish off the enemy unit. Excellent. The enemy attack was repelled. Our recon unit spotted more enemy troops in the distance. You should make more thorough preparations for the enemy's main force's arrival and strengthen your troops with additional equipment. Open the unit info screen of the infantry. To click on the equipment tab.
There was the middle mouse button.
Equipment is all sorts of additional weaponry, devices, and personnel aimed at strengthening your troops, starting with machine guns and finishing with the field medics and sapper squads. Equipment can either give passive bonuses or require an activation with a limited number of uses.
Ah, so that's like something that could heal the injured, right? Like a field medic or something.
Select the mortar from the list of equipment.
Okay, well,
it is a
really
good
cool
example of equipment with passive bonuses. It extends the gun range by 1, allowing the infantry to attack from afar. However, it is also considered heavy equipment. Units with this model of mortar cannot board air transport and cannot move without vehicles.
Okay, well, I can't look at anything, but it's a very nice, actually, and very cool selection here. And by the way, so the Goliath tracked mine, that's really cool. I firstly saw this one. I never knew this one existed until I was in Warsaw in Poland in a war museum, and they had one of these here. Like, I think it was an original. That's really interesting. So they were wire controlled and basically packed full with explosives, and then this thing was just driving somewhere, like to bust open a building or something. They used those during the Warsaw Uprising, for example. So that's really interesting. Unit with the sniper squad gains +1 to gun range. Sniper squad reduces attack and defense of the attacked enemy by 2. Oh, that's really cool. So, Granatwerfer, a mortar, heavy mortar modeled after the Soviet favorite 120mm mortars. It allows your troops to attack from a longer range and deal additional damage to an enemy's entrenchment.
Click on the Acquire button at the bottom.
The unit's gun range becomes 2. The enemy entrenchment level is reduced by 1 before the attack. Can be used only if the attack range does not exceed 2 hexes. Unit gains the howitzer fire ability. A hinged fire passes through obstacles, rough forest or city terrain. Heavy equipment. If the unit does not have ground transport, it loses the ability to move. Also disabled skills like paratroopers, air mobile and coastal landing. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So that way we could make up heavy infantry units or super heavy like with flamethrowers and stuff. Or we can only have 1 equipment, I guess. Like super heavy sapper units or something with flamethrowers. Or they are just normal infantry, But that's really cool. Very interesting. Additional ammunition. Okay,
close the equipment tab. Now select the self-propelled artillery.
Yeah, just a second.
Open its information tab by clicking with the middle mouse button. Select one of the equipment slots. From the list of available equipment, select the incendiary shells. This is an example of equipment that requires activation. They're perfect for firing at soft targets.
Oh, that's very interesting. So incendiary shells, prestige cost per attack 2. Oh yeah, that's also pretty interesting. And a good concept, because obviously like special ammunitions need to be ordered, produced and transported. Yeah. And obviously it costs resources, so
Click on the Acquire button.
most efficient way to deal with soft targets, expendable equipment. You spend 2 prestige every time you activate it. Requires activation. Equipment can be activated in the command panel of the unit in the bottom right corner of the screen. Type ammunition, okay.
Close the tab. Note that now there is a new Incendiary Shells button on the Unit Actions panel, in the bottom right corner of the screen. You can activate or deactivate Incendiary Shells by clicking on its button on the Unit Actions panel. Bear in mind that it's expendable equipment, and you will have to pay in prestige for every activation. You still remember that your anti-tank unit got a new level, right? Open the unit info screen. Right above the unit picture, there's an experience bar. As the unit deals damage to the enemy, this bar fills up. The amount of experience a unit gains is equal to the damage dealt. Additionally, a unit gains 10 experience when it suffers losses or defeats an enemy unit. Recon units gain an additional 10 experience when they gather intelligence data. There are other class-specific ways to get experience, which you can learn by hovering the mouse over the experience bar of any given class. When the unit gets enough experience for a new level, you can level it up manually. To do it, open the Level Up tab.
Oh, for killing and capturing an enemy hero, we get even 40 experience. Okay, so
In this tab, you can see all the skills available to this unit. Select the Vulnerabilities skill.
Aha, okay. Can go full offensive with this against hard targets. Fire Discipline has 1 more ammunition. Resolute Attack. Upon activation, the unit gains first strike ability until the next attack. The number of uses per operation is limited. Aggressive Maneuver, 1 more movement point. That is certainly good for tanks. Veteran of Trenches. And trenches every turn, even if all movement is spent and twice as fast, 2 levels per turn. Entrenchment cannot be reduced below 2 levels by enemy attacks, so that's actually pretty useful for infantry. Like for engineers, yeah. The firing gains 1 movement point and can move again. Set a trap. If the unit did not move this turn, it gains 4 hard attack until it moves. Okay, interesting.
Click on the Level Up button.
Okay.
Get back to the unit info screen and have a look at combat parameters. As you can see, all attack and defense values have increased by 1. The more experienced the unit, the higher its combat effectiveness. We should also mention heroes, outstanding individuals who could make a big impact on your war effort. Open the Heroes tab. Heroes are unique historical personalities. Each of them can be assigned to serve in one of your units, providing it with an additional selection of very impressive skills. There are different heroes for different unit classes. Some unit classes have more than 1.
That's interesting.
In order to get a hero, one of your units has to fulfill the requirements. You can see the corresponding progress bar above the hero skills list. Select the highlighted hero from the list.
Okay, I'm not reading this one right now, but if you want, you can click the pause button and check this one for yourself. Overrun, yeah, but that's really cool. So obviously we know Hans-Ulrich Rudel already from Panzer Corps. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Hello, Marat. This one is Rudolf Witzig, infantry leader, assault. Kurt Knispel. He's Tank and Anti-Tank. Michael Wittmann. Hans-Joachim Marseille. I will check this one if this is actually correct, like correct data, but it sounds pretty interesting. And I guess, well, they They didn't make anything up here.
Click on the Assign button.
Incredible resistance, anti-tank, deals full damage ignoring. A single hero standing up to the enemy army is the domain of fairy tales and legends. In real life, such cases are exceedingly rare. This only serves to make Fritz Kristen's story all the more unique. Not only did he hold off a Soviet tank attack, but he also lived to tell the tale. Yeah, okay, if you want you can read it for yourself. Does not retreat or surrender. Non-lethal damage from each enemy attack is reduced by 1. Okay, interesting. Devastating fire. The unit can attack twice every second turn. Oh, that's awesome. Overwatch, yeah. First strike. And he can overrun. Yeah, that's really good. So he would profit from a lot of ammunition, I guess. So let's
confirm the assignment. When you assign a hero to a unit, all previously learned abilities of this unit are reset, and you can level it up again, taking into consideration new hero skills. Open the Level Up tab. As you can see, the list of available skills has been expanded with hero skills. Select the Devastating Fire skill. Click on the Level Up button. Now close the Information tab. Click on the End Turn button.
That was interesting. So there was we didn't know that something.
Here comes the enemy main force. It seems their commander is in the tank unit.
There was a question mark, so inside the forest, huh? We knew there was something, but we didn't know exactly what it was or who it was.
It is a perfect moment to try out the new shells. Select the self-propelled artillery. Click on the Incendiary Shells button. Then attack the designated enemy unit.
Plus 17 soft attack and 4 incendiary shells. Against 6 soft defense, take cover and range defense, 2 lethal, 5 non-lethal.
The artillery did more damage. Now select the tank unit. Move it to the designated hex. Attack the enemy artillery.
15 soft attack versus 6 soft defense. We do 6 lethal damage, 10 strength from Tiger, 1 non-lethal damage. Oh, we get return fire, hard attack. But it shouldn't affect us. 8 hard attack plus 3 strength from 122 millimeter against our 24 total defense.
Your recon unit must be feeling left out. Select it. Command it to attack the enemy infantry unit.
Okay, so fire support. They have fire support. Which will kill off one of us, apparently, or what? And then they will return fire, but it will not affect us. And then we go into close combat and we will kill 4.
The enemy artillery is on its last legs. Select the infantry with mortar equipment. Move it closer to the enemy unit.
1, 2, 3, 4 tiles.
Attack the enemy artillery.
Return fire. Soft attack. 16, and we have 14 total defense. Oh yeah, and we profit from our recon unit. And then we attack. 6 soft attack plus 3 from our Granatwerfer against their 5 total defense.
Perfect. Without their artillery fire support, enemy troops won't last long. Now select your artillery unit. Bombard the remaining enemy infantry unit. Select your infantry unit. Move it closer to the enemy. Finish off the enemy unit.
Return.
The enemy commander is left alone, while you have an anti-tank unit at hand. Select it. Move it closer to the enemy. Attack the enemy unit.
23 hard attack plus 1 level, plus 10 strength from elephant. And they have 14 defense. An M41. We can't really look at it, but it looks like a T-34 or something. It is T-34 M41, yeah, okay. We kill off 6 and injure or damage 1.
1 attack is good, but 2 is even better. Using the devastating fire ability, order a second attack to finish off the enemy tank.
Okay, we don't have to select it.
We have dealt with the enemy commander. Congratulations! The operation was a success. Click on the Finish Operation button to exit to the tutorial menu.
Okay, well, that was nice. I think there are a lot of options open, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. We can have a very nice army. I mean, of course, it involves quite a lot of micromanagement, way more than with the normal Panzer General, or for example Panzer Corps, but I think that is actually, like, in the long term of the game, it's probably way more interesting that way. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to building my army with that. So, well, thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video and found this one informative and kind of cool. Please do share your thoughts, what you think about the concepts. And yeah, the gaming principles. I personally find that really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to playing this. Although I will do that only after finishing some of my Let's Plays. Otherwise it will all get too overwhelming. Yeah, but well, I would appreciate if you click the like button, and you are very welcome to join the channel so you never ever have to miss an episode again. So next time, bye bye.